Good evening. The 6:30 hour is upon us. I am calling the meeting to order of the St. Louis County Council, Tuesday, March 2nd, 2021. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes, Madam Chair. I first want to say that I don't see Councilwoman Clancy on the iCompass system. I don't know if she
Yes, I am trying to log in right now, Diane.
Okay.
I'm having some weird technical stuff happening, but I'm trying.
Okay. All right.
Well, we can see her and we can hear her.
Yes, but she's not able to vote. So
Okay.
let me proceed with roll call and see if she can get on there. So, okay, excuse me for that. Councilmember Days.
Here.
Councilmember Dunaway.
Present.
Councilmember Fitch.
Here.
Councilmember Webb.
Present.
Thank you. Councilmember Clancy.
I am here and I am logged into iCompass. Are you seeing that?
I do. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you.
Councilmember Tracus.
Present.
Councilmember Harder.
Present.
Madam Chair, you have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Do we have any comments this evening? Seeing none, the journals are not available for approval this evening. I understand that there were some corrections that needed to be done, and so we will hold those off until next week. We have no bid openings this evening, so we will move to communications.
Madam Chair, we have no tax compromises this evening, so we'll move to zoning matters. Under zoning matters, item number 1, 6th District.
Receive, file, the matter be referred to the Public Improvements Committee. Same motion for item number 2.
So ordered.
Moving on to other communications, item number 1.
Receive, file, and the county councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation. The same motion will apply to number 2, and that will be the order.
Item number 3.
Receive and file, and that will be the order.
Item number 4.
Receive, file, and the issuance of a request for proposal be approved as requested. Is there a second?
Second. Harder.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion carries.
Item number 5.
Receive, file, and the issuance of a request for proposal be approved as requested. Is there a second?
Second. Harder.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Those opposed, no. Motion carries.
Item number 6.
Receive, file, and the issuance of a request for proposal be approved as requested. Is there a second?
Second. Harder.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion carries.
Item number 7.
Receive, file, and the issuance of a request for proposal be approved as requested. Is there a second?
Second. Harder.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion carries.
Item number 8.
Receive, file, and the issuance of a request for proposal be approved as requested. Is there a second?
Second. Harder.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion carries.
Item number 9, 4th District.
Receive and file.
So ordered.
Item number 10, 3rd District.
Receive, file, and the replacement deposit agreement be approved as requested.
Is there a second?
Second. Harder.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Those opposed, no. Motion carries.
Item number 11, 3rd, 4th, and 6th Districts.
Receive and file.
So ordered.
Item number 12, 2nd District.
Receive and file.
So ordered.
Item number 13, second district.
Receive, file, and the county councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation.
So ordered.
Item number 14, fourth district.
Receive, file, and the county councilors will be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation.
So ordered.
Item number 15, fifth district.
Receive, file, and the county councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation.
So ordered.
Item number 16,
Receive, file, and the county council be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation, and that will be the order.
item number 17, fifth district.
Receive, file, and the county councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation. Same motion through item number 19.
So ordered.
One moment, Madam Chair. Item number 20, fourth district.
Receive, file, and the county council will be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation.
So ordered.
Item number 21, first district.
Receive, file, and the county council be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation, and a copy of the report be sent to the city of Wellston. The same motion will apply to number 22 as well, and so ordered.
Item number 23, first district.
Receive, file, and the county council be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation, and a copy of the report be sent to the city of University City, so ordered.
Item number 24.
Madam Chair, this is my motion to make here, but before I do that, if you'd indulge me and let me make a short statement.
Certainly. You recognize Councilman Fitch.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is the veto of Bill 39 by the county executive. This was the removing $122,000 in salary and benefits for Rochelle Walton Gray in the position that he appointed her to, the political appointment. That's what this is about, and he vetoed that, so I had a short statement. The county executive has vetoed Bill 39, which was passed by this council to express our dissatisfaction over his political payback hiring of former Councilwoman Rochelle Walton Gray. Mr. Page's veto message to the council is long on explanation as to the value of a North County group to assist with vaccine education and distribution. I think we all agree that such a group would have a positive effect on North County. That's not what Bill 39 is about. Mr. Page's message makes no mention as to the primary reason for the basis of this legislation. Opposition to the hiring of a political friend into a taxpayer-funded reward for her support of Page and her votes on January 5th. That's what it's about. Even members of this council who voted in favor of allowing Walton Gray to cast her illegal votes on January 5th recognize that the county executive was providing a political reward with tax dollars, proven by the fact that two of them immediately initiated legislation to halt such political hires in the future. These two council members knew what Page did was wrong and are trying to fix it, of course, after the fact. Now is their chance to show the public that they are truly interested in stopping the pay-to-play scheme that continues in county government. Support the vote to override this veto. If these council members vote to support Mr. Page's veto, the public has everything they need to know as to the sincerity of their legislation to make sure this doesn't happen again. Send Sam Page a message. Tell him to stop pay-to-play in St. Louis County. Thank you, Madam Chair. Now I'll make my motion. Receive, file, and the communication be entered into the Journal of the Council. And in regards to Bill number 39, pursuant to Section 2.110 of the St. Louis County Charter, I move the question, shall the ordinance pass, the objections of the county executive thereto notwithstanding?
Is there a second?
Second, Harder.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no.
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 Chair is in doubt. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Days.
Aye.
Councilmember Dunaway.
No.
Councilmember Fitch.
Aye.
Councilmember Webb,
Aye.
Councilmember Clancy,
I've said it before and I'll say it again. We do not cut public health budgets during a global pandemic. I'm a no.
Councilmember Tracus,
No.
Councilmember Harder.
Yes, it's time to stop pay to play.
Madam Chair, on Bill number 39, on the motion to override, let me say that again. On the motion, shall the ordinance pass the objections of the county executive thereto notwithstanding on Bill number 39, there are 4 ayes and 3 noes.
Very well, the motion fails.
Moving on to add-ons, item number 1.
Receive and file, same motion for item number 2, so ordered. Report for the county executive.
Good evening, everyone. In 2 weeks, the number of eligible people for a vaccine will greatly increase. Well, that's good news for teachers and others in Tier 3 of Group 1B. There remain hundreds of thousands of people in the tiers above who are on a pre-registration list awaiting an appointment. St. Louis County has been building infrastructure for high-capacity delivery, knowing that the initial slow rollout of vaccine availability would eventually improve, and it has been each week. The FDA's approval of the Johnson & Johnson one-shot vaccine is another important step in getting more shots in more arms as quickly as possible. We received our first doses of Johnson & Johnson vaccine today. As our health department was building out its vaccine infrastructure, it was also looking to the future, when Phase 1B Tier 3 would open. St. Louis County is already working with school districts on plans to get tens of thousands of teachers vaccinated quickly and efficiently. Once we have those logistical details in place, we will share those right away. We want to do all we can to help our school districts provide a safe learning environment. We will also work to provide other essential industries and workers in Tier 3 with information and access to opportunities where possible. While more than 130,000 county residents have received at least 1 dose, St. Louis County and the state estimate there are 370,000 people or more who already qualify for the vaccine and who have not yet received it. St. Louis County estimates approximately 85,000 to 100,000 people in the Tier 3 category. That brings the total number of county residents who will be eligible for vaccination on March 15th to more than 500,000 people. We have proven that we have the capacity to deliver more vaccine doses than the amount the state currently provides. We are hopeful that the supply will increase exponentially to help us manage this larger list of people who qualify for the vaccine. We ask the public's patience as we continue to administer doses as quickly and efficiently as we can. Across the U.S., mass vaccination sites have been set up to get thousands of doses administered in a single day. And St. Louis County had a successful large-scale vaccine event at Upsall 2 Saturdays ago with the National Guard, and we have another large-scale vaccination event set for this weekend. On Saturday, March 6th from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., the county is once again collaborating with the Missouri National Guard to conduct a mass vaccination event at the North County Recreation Center, 2577 Redmond Avenue. We will send email invitations to people who pre-registered for vaccinations with the county at stlcorona.com. No walk-up service is available. Only those who pre-registered are eligible, and only those with an appointment will receive a vaccine. Having an appointment means we have a dose for you. We understand people may also register on the state website. However, the state's website will link you back to the county's registration system, so it's not necessary to register on both sites. St. Louis County has its own scheduling system, and we'll be using it to operate this event. We expect to administer about 2,000 vaccinations that day. We can only vaccinate individuals in categories identified by the state as eligible. And that means we will invite people from our pre-registration list who are in Phase 1A and in Tiers 1 and 2 of Phase 1B. And those in Phase 1B Tier 3 will not be eligible until March 15th. We send a scheduling invitation to large numbers of people with the eligible tiers. We do not prioritize individual appointments among all eligible tier recipients. We do encourage those who are eligible to sign up for a shot. Getting a vaccine is the best way for us to eradicate this pandemic. That's all for now. Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Councilman Fitch.
May I ask the county executive a question?
Absolutely.
Mr. County Executive, I think the public deserves an explanation from you as to why your county councilors sued members of this council and the court ruling from today. And I think they deserve to hear why you thought that was a good idea and how you will restore the faith that we should have in our legal advisor.
Councilman Fitch, I appreciate your question and I respect your position. And you've been quite vocal on all the issues surrounding the debate over who should be in charge of being chair of the county council, on the interpretation of the charter and the confusion of the charter that was caused by the recent charter amendment. And I appreciate the ruling of the court, respect the ability of the county council to choose its leadership and to follow the guidance and the direction of the court. I'll leave it to the county councilor to determine the process for that moving forward. As for restoring the faith in county government, I'm quite confident that folks in the county are happy with county government, happy with the direction we're going, in spite of a lot of the politics we see at the county council and sometimes directed at my office. And that level of confidence, I believe, is strong. And I look forward to working with all of you to address the real issues that we're facing, which is the response to this pandemic and getting everyone vaccinated as soon as possible.
That's a pretty good deflection, but my point is how do we ever trust what we hear coming from the county councilor's office? You did not address that.
Councilman Fitch, you've been quite vocal about your attacks on my administration across the board and your attacks on the county attorney who represents all of county government. And I'll depend on you to process this question however you like. I expect it to be politically charged as long as you want it to be politically charged. But at some point, we'll get back to the business of taking care of the residents of St. Louis County because that's what they want. They don't want to hear the back and forth about who you're upset about today or what they did wrong that you don't like.
Well, I just think it's tens of thousands of dollars of tax dollars have been spent over this issue. That's more important than whether or not there's any political factions or infighting or anything like that. And I think the public who pays these taxes deserve an answer to that. So thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. So moving on to public forum. We have how many speakers this evening, Diane?
We have 6.
6 speakers. When your name is announced, please listen for the clerk. Before you begin speaking, state your first and last name, zip code for the record. The clerk will inform you when your 3 minutes are up. And Diane, I'd appreciate if you give them a little warning before we just kind of cut people off. If you could give them a 15-second warning, if that's possible. All right?
Yes. So, Chris, please, I will let them know when their 3 minutes is about to be up and then ask them to finish up. Okay?
Thank you very much. And
You're
the first
welcome.
speaker, we're waiting.
Our first speaker is Michael Meredith, followed by Lynn LeBob.
Good evening. My name is Michael Meredith, and I reside in Creve Coeur, zip code 63141. I'm speaking as a representative of the St. Louis Audubon Society, where I am secretary and a member of the board of directors. My comments are related to my remarks from the last council meeting about Bill number 44. This project would never have been necessary had the law been followed prior to the bulldozers taking over these public lands. It was an illegal act, pure and simple. As you know, the Missouri Prairie Foundation is willing to commit $300,000 to the restoration of this land with Missouri native grasses, flowers, and trees in a natural native habitat. The cost of seed alone will be somewhere between $40,000 and $80,000. These funds will pay for seed, equipment, and contractor labor over the next 3 years with no public funds being used. Expenses after that period will be minimal, as the grounds will be in a low-maintenance natural state. What maintenance might be necessary will be performed to a great extent by volunteer conservationists, as much of the natural areas within Creve Coeur Park currently are maintained. Just to illustrate that, I checked the volunteer records of another local conservation group, the Great Rivers chapter of Missouri Master Naturalists, where I'm also a member. Even under COVID protocols, Missouri Master Naturalists provided over 800 hours of volunteer service to the St. Louis County Parks for the year 2020. That does not include the volunteer efforts of groups like the Audubon Society, Sierra Club, Gateway Off-Road Cyclists, and the Open Space Council, and many others that have given huge amounts of volunteer time and effort to our parks. I mention that just to underscore the fact that there is a vast network of volunteer conservationists that believe in keeping Creve Coeur Park the jewel that it is. Make no mistake about it, if this bill is turned down, the Missouri Prairie Foundation has numerous opportunities to spend their grant money elsewhere. The choice before you basically is whether to allow this 40-acre parcel of parkland to be high-maintenance turf grass or a natural low-maintenance ecosystem. I can only stress that this is $300,000 worth of natural restoration for which the taxpayers of the county will not have to pay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Lynn LeBob, followed by Suzanne Burley.
Hi, good evening. My name is Lynn LeBob, and my zip code is 63123. I'm speaking tonight over the concern for the potential of a car wash at the corner of Gravois Road and Tesson Ferry. The corner of Gravois and Tesson Ferry is a highly traveled road with cars moving at a very fast rate of speed. Having a car wash at this location presents great danger on days when long lines wait to get their car washed, as we saw that today. You probably have witnessed those times when the cars spill into the roadway as they wait their turn at the other car wash locations. Gravois Road also is known as Highway 30, which indicates the fast rate of speed that the cars are traveling. There's hardly any shoulder on that road at the time of overflow. There would be no room to share for those who are waiting and those who are driving 50 miles an hour and faster along that stretch of Gravois. This is dangerous for the citizens of Afton, and we would ask the county council to deny the petition for a car wash at that Gravois and Tesson Ferry location. In fact, that location has been zoned for the drive-through restaurant. And as our community in Afton, we're so grateful that we're getting more small businesses, and we would prefer that stay as already zoned as it is for a drive-through restaurant. Our community is really starting to thrive, and that would help us, as opposed to more car washes and more storage units. I think we have an overabundance of that. And as taxpayers, we would like to be heard. So we thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Suzanne Burley, followed by John Hickey.
Good evening. I wanted to start tonight by just congratulating Chairwoman Britta Days on what should have never been questioned to begin with, and thank her for keeping it classy during the ridiculous lawsuit. Your classiness was very admirable and much appreciated. I also want to thank Chairwoman Webb and Chairman Fitch and Harder for continuing to fight for what is right and for not taking the easy route as others sometimes do. They find it easier to just kind of go with the flow than question things. So that's appreciated as well. And I also wanted to mention to Dr. Page that the public does have questions for you, and we have for quite some time. our council members were elected to speak for us. It was really refreshing tonight to hear Councilman Fitch be allowed to actually ask you a question without being cut off. And I very much look forward to much more interaction between you and other council members. Thank you and have a good evening.
Thank you. Next speaker is John Hickey, followed by Jason Moore.
My name is John Hickey. I live in St. Louis County. I'm in zip code 63119 in the city of Webster Groves. And I am speaking about Board Bill 44, just like Michael Meredith. And I support the bill for a couple of reasons. One is when the previous county executive sent the bulldozers there to the park, I was one of the people who protested against that. I was very thrilled that the federal government stood up for the law and said, this is public land, you can't bulldoze it and give it to a private entity. And now we have an opportunity to make lemonade out of the lemon. The Missouri Prairie Foundation has an excellent record, an excellent reputation nationally for the prairie restoration it's done. I've worked with them in Southwest Missouri and in Western Missouri, and they are a class operation, and I think would do a great job in healing some of the damage done to the park, and that restored prairie would mean less runoff, less dirt, less water running into the streets. And as somebody who spends a lot of time in that area, there's often mud and water in the streets down there around the park, and getting a prairie in there would reduce that problem. So I really hope this county council can come together and support this common sense, fiscally prudent fix to this problem that's been lingering for several years. The second thing I want to say is I want to thank County Executive Sam Page for standing up for public health and taking strong measures to deal with the COVID pandemic. I've got an 89-year-old mother who lives in St. Louis County, got 2 children who live in St. Louis County, a spouse, a brother, a niece, a nephew, and I think that it's important that the county follow the best science so that we reduce the number of deaths and the number of illnesses. And I know it's not always popular, but I appreciate a politician who will do something that's not popular, but that's actually scientific and saves lives. So thank you, Sam, and please, City Council, support Bill number 44. It's a win-win situation. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Jason Moore, followed by Johanna Bodian.
Okay, this is, hello everybody, Jason Moore, 63021. First off, congratulations, Councilwoman Chair Days and Vice Chair Harder for finally reason being served by Judge Albus. For Dr. Page, for your continued assertion that you are ultimate overlord, I did a quick look up on accessionglossary.com to define tyrants versus leaders. Tyrants are absolute rule, abusing power, selfish power, unmitigated power, unrestrained exercise of power, abuse of authority. Difficult people, control freaks, imperative people, and bullies push us around during our day-to-day encounters. They go out of their ways to turn every encounter into a dominance contest and often insist on getting the last word. They insist you do it to their way, dominating so many trivial ideas and issues as well as the more important ones. This I thought was rather fascinating because it goes along with everything we were talking about here this past year. Going out to dinner with a control freak can easily become an ordeal. Choosing the restaurant, deciding where to sit, where to order, what fork to use, how much to tip, how long to stay, who pays, how to pay, and what else to do next has to be done their way. Or not. You know, for us, they have to go out of county. Tyrants, dictators, despots, autocrats, authoritarians, imperialists, blah, 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 practice their tyranny totalitarianism, absolute rule, and domination on a larger and more destructive scale. Tyranny leads to oppression, the sustained humiliation of a group or people. Now, just a couple quick points for leader versus tyrant. The leader is a visionary, holds a clear, compelling, well thought out, and constructive vision for the future, focused while maintaining broad perspective. A tyrant is visionary but fixated on a narrow view, narrowly focused. A leader is determined. They persistently pursue their goals and are undaunted by obstacles and setbacks. Relentless, and tyrants are relentless, tenacious, unyielding, rigid, closed-minded, dogmatic, and stubborn. So I could go on and on with this. A leader is enthusiastic, whereas a tyrant is a zealot. So what I'm trying to say is, and what everybody's been trying to say to you, Dr. Page, and his supporters, Ms. Clancy, Ms. Dunaway, and Mr. Tracus, is that tyranny gets us nowhere. It has gotten us nowhere, except destruction of the mental health of our kids, mental health and businesses of our neighbors and friends. And it's time to stop. It just really is. And thank you for the Fab Four for stepping into it and stepping up for us. Thank you very much. Chris, please feel free to nuke my mic. Thanks.
Thank you. Our final speaker is Johanna Bodian.
This is Johanna Bodian. I live in 63005. I just wanted to say thank you to Chairman Days and Councilwoman Webb on just your tenacity and patience through the ridiculousness of the lawsuit brought about by your fellow council people. It was truly ridiculous. Thank you for Councilman Harder, Councilman Fitch, for what you've done to stand up for the people of St. Louis County and do what is right for our county and not back down. Thank you. We so appreciate the support you have for us. The veto of Bill 39 and the earlier motion, really pretty disgraceful. Council people Dunaway, Clancy, and Tracus on the action or lack of action that you're willing to take to do what is right, even after a judge has determined today that what happened in January was wrong. You still cannot admit to your fault and your mistakes. And we as county residents see right through what is going on. We understand what's happening. My only question is, when does the criminal investigation into Dr. Sam Page and the pay-to-play commence? That needs to be the next step. And Sam Page, if you don't resign from your position, you will be removed from your position. We are not happy with the county executive. We are not confident in your ability to lead. We want to know the facts. As Councilman Fitch stated earlier, we have asked over several meetings for those facts. We want to understand what happened. We deserve the right to know what our tax dollars are being spent on. And when it's not right, we deserve action to correct it from corrupt politicians. We won't stand for it anymore. And my final point, I would like the council to please bring forward something, and maybe on tonight actually, to open our county back up. We need to remove these restrictions at this point. It's all over the country. restrictions were lifted today. St. Louis County needs to
Your 3
follow
minutes
suit.
is up. You have 10 seconds.
Thank you. Thank you. That's all.
Okay, thank you. That was our final public speaker. Can you hear me?
Thank you so much. Thank you. And thank all of you who took the time out to come and share your concerns with this council this evening. We really appreciate that. Introduction of bills.
With introduction, Madam Chair, Bill number 67, introduced by Councilmember Clancy, an ordinance authorizing the county executive to execute a contract and one subsequent renewal with St. Louis University DBA SLU Care for the provision of obstetrical and gynecologic services for the Department of Public Health, and authorizing the Director of the Department of Public Health to execute necessary documents. Bill number 68, introduced by Councilmember Dunaway, an ordinance authorizing an amendment to a contract with James H. Farrick and Jarrell Investments LP for lease of space at 11643 through 11645 Northline Industrial Park. Madam Chair, that is all the bills.
Thank you very much. Moving on to perfection.
Bill number 20, introduced by Councilmember Harder.
So please hold Bill number 20.
Bill number 20 is held.
Bill number 32, introduced by Councilmember Tracus.
To hold Bill number 32.
Bill number 32 is held.
Bill number 266, introduced by Councilmembers Fitch and Harder.
I move to hold Bill 266.
Bill number 266 is held.
Bill number 267, introduced by Councilmembers Fitch and Harder.
I move to hold Bill 267.
Bill number 267 is held.
Bill number 62, introduced by Councilmember Clancy.
I move to perfect Bill number 62.
Is there a second?
Second, Dunaway.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Those opposed, no. Motion carries. Bill number 62 is perfected.
Bill number 63, introduced by Councilmember Clancy.
I move to perfect Bill number 63.
Is there a second?
Second, Dunaway.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion carries. Bill number 63 is perfected.
Bill number 64, introduced by Councilmembers Fitch and Clancy.
I move to perfect Bill number 64.
Is there a second?
Second, Clancy.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Those opposed, no. Motion carries. Bill number 64 is perfected.
Bill number 65, introduced by Councilmember Webb.
I move to perfect Bill 65.
Is there a second?
Second, Fitch.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion carries. Bill number 65 is perfected.
Bill number 66, introduced by Councilmember Dunaway.
I move to perfect Bill number 66.
Is there a second?
Second,
Second.
Tracus.
Is there a second? Who seconded?
I did. Tracus.
Thank you. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion carries. Bill number 66 is perfected. Final passage, please.
Bill number 320, introduced by Councilmember Clancy.
I move to hold Bill number 320.
Bill number 320 is held.
Bill number 14, introduced by Councilmembers Tracus, Days, Dunaway, Fitch, Walton Gray, Clancy, and Harder.
Move to hold Bill number 14.
Bill number 14 is held.
Substitute Bill number 1 for Bill number 76, introduced by Councilmembers Dunaway and Harder.
Please hold substitute Bill number 1 for Bill number 76.
Substitute Bill number 1 for Bill number 76 is held.
Substitute Bill number 1 for Bill number 202, introduced by Councilmember Clancy.
Yes, today I heard from some of the stakeholders who've been involved with some of the county folks, particularly from Public Works, about substitute Bill number 1 for Bill number 202. Included and who I heard from was representatives from Ameren, from Spire, and from AT&T. They are in favor of this substitute Bill number 1 for Bill number 202. However, I understand that Chairwoman Days would like to have a hearing, so I will leave it to her to schedule a hearing on this. And until that happens, I will continue to hold this bill.
Substitute Bill number 1 for Bill number 202 is held.
Bill number 220, introduced by Councilmember Tracus.
Move to hold Bill number 220.
Bill number 220 is held.
Bill number 44, introduced by Councilmember Dunaway.
I'm gonna move to hold Bill number 44 while the Director of Parks can get some additional information as requested in the hearing today. But I don't want to hold this up forever for questions that may still be in existence for well before my time, well before most of our time. I really want to get this prairie project going in Creve Coeur Park, and I don't think there's any reason to stop investigating what happened to the missing money. I don't want to get in the way of that conversation going on or getting to the bottom of it. But I will hold this week, and then I really want to get moving on this soon. So with that, I move to hold Bill number 44.
Bill number 44 is held.
Bill number 49, introduced by Councilmember Clancy.
We are going to need to prepare a substitute bill, and that is still in the works. We received an incorrect invoice from the auditor's office, and so once we have that corrected information, we will work with the counselor's office on a substitute bill. So with that, I will hold Bill number 49.
Bill number 49 is held.
Bill number 51, introduced by Councilmember Clancy.
Yes, we had a hearing about this today. This pertains to the implementing the merit pay raises, which were approved by the council as part of our budget process last fall. The hearing today was good. There were some questions that are outstanding that we are still looking for answers from. I have asked the council members to move swiftly to get their questions answered because our county employees are very much depending on what we do here. As part of their lives and livelihoods with getting a well-deserved merit raise and having that program in place. So with that, I will hold this, and I will be looking to my council members, colleagues who still have questions to get their questions answered. And of course, I could be of assistance, as will our budget policy coordinator in that process. So please hold Bill 51.
Bill number 51 is held.
Bill number 52, introduced by Councilmember Webb.
I move to hold Bill number 52.
Bill number 52 is held.
Bill number 53, introduced by Councilmember Dunaway.
I move for final passage of Bill number 53.
Is there a second? Is there a second?
Second, Webb.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Days.
Aye.
Councilmember Dunaway.
Aye.
Councilmember Fitch.
Aye.
Councilmember Webb.
Aye.
Councilmember Clancy.
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus.
Aye.
Councilmember Harder.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on Bill number 53, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 53 is finally passed.
Bill number 54, introduced by Councilmember Fitch.
I had a long conversation with Tom Ott from the Department of Parks, and he answered all my questions, so I will move for final passage of Bill number 54.
Is there a second?
Second, Harder.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Days.
Aye.
Councilmember Dunaway.
Aye.
Councilmember Fitch.
Aye.
Councilmember Webb.
Aye.
Councilmember Clancy.
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus.
Aye.
Councilmember Harder.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on Bill number 54, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 54 is finally passed.
Bill number 55, introduced by Councilmember Fitch.
I move for final passage of Bill 55.
Is there a second?
Second, Harder.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Days.
Aye.
Councilmember Dunaway.
Aye.
Councilmember Fitch.
Aye.
Councilmember Webb.
Aye.
Councilmember Clancy.
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus,
Aye.
Councilmember Harder.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on Bill number 55, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 55 is finally passed.
Bill number 56, introduced by Councilmember Tracus.
Move for final passage of bill number 56.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Who seconded?
Fitch.
Okay, you just have to say your name so that Diane can record that. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Days,
Aye.
Councilmember Dunaway,
Aye.
Councilmember Fitch,
Aye.
Councilmember Webb,
Aye.
Councilmember Clancy,
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus,
Aye.
Councilmember Harder.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on Bill number 56, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 56 is finally passed.
Bill number 57, introduced by Councilmember Clancy.
I move for final passage of bill number 57.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll
Dunaway.
call, please. And that was Dunaway, Diane.
Yes, ma'am. Councilmember Days,
Aye.
Councilmember Dunaway,
Aye.
Councilmember Fitch,
Aye.
Councilmember Webb,
Aye.
Councilmember Clancy,
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus,
Aye.
Councilmember Harder.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on Bill number 57, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 57 is finally passed.
Bill number 58, introduced by Councilmembers Dunaway, Webb, Clancy, Tracus, and Harder.
I move for final passage of bill number 58.
Is there a second?
Second, Tracus.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Days,
Aye.
Councilmember Dunaway,
Aye.
Councilmember Fitch,
Aye.
Councilmember Webb,
Aye.
Councilmember Clancy,
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus,
Aye.
Councilmember Harder.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on Bill number 58, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 58 is finally passed.
Bill number 59, introduced by Councilmember Days.
I move for final passage of bill number 59. Is there a second?
Second, Webb.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Days,
Aye.
Councilmember Dunaway,
Aye.
Councilmember Fitch,
Aye.
Councilmember Webb,
Aye.
Councilmember Clancy,
Aye. Aye.
Councilmember Tracus,
Aye.
Councilmember Harder.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on Bill number 59, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 59 is finally passed.
Bill number 60, introduced by Councilmembers Webb, Days, and Fitch.
Madam Chair, discussion?
Let's move and a second and have discussion, please.
Okay.
Second.
Wait a-
Harder.
Discussion.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to take this moment to make a statement. I think people are waiting to hear from me. So first, I want to address today's events. I would like to thank everyone for their support during this time when I first came into office that I often refer to as baptism by fire. I would like to thank my attorney, Darnell Smith, my family and my friends for keeping me lifted in prayers through this whole ordeal. All I ever wanted to do was to serve the people that I was elected to represent. Their voices were very clear, and it is my duty to stand up to what I thought was silencing of their voices on January 5th. I am so grateful that I have this dispute behind us, sincerely, and it is my hope that the council can move forward in a positive and professional manner that we all agreed upon. As pertaining to this legislation, the cooling off period, the St. Louis County was once a model for other local government. Drama was at its minimum, and regardless of differences, residents believed that government worked for them. Sadly, this is not true today. The public has lost trust in the government. The safeguards that must have not been needed in years past have now become commonplace, and we need them. Hopefully, this will be the start of a trend that leads this council to help build a more transparent and trustworthy government. After all, what are our priorities? Are we here to serve the people or serve ourselves? Thank you, Madam Chair.
It has been Councilman Tracus.
Thank you. I agree with Councilwoman Webb that it's time to put some restraints on this cronyism. And it's no secret, I don't think Bill 60 goes far enough in doing that, in terms of addressing the cavalcade of cronyism that goes on and has gone on. I will vote to support this bill tonight. I hope, as she said last week, this is a first step in building a much stronger and difficult pathway for cronyism to continue. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Days.
Aye.
Councilmember Dunaway.
Aye.
Councilmember Fitch.
Aye.
Councilmember Webb.
Aye.
Councilmember Clancy.
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus.
Aye.
Councilmember Harder.
Aye, and thank you, Councilwoman Webb, for your leadership on this.
Madam Chair, on Bill number 60, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 60 is finally passed. Moving on to resolutions.
Madam Chair, we have 3 resolutions this evening. Resolution number 1, introduced by Councilmember Webb.
Please read the resolution.
Resolution, whereas Brother Sultan El-Hajj Muhammad was born in St. Louis on March 4, 1931, and raised by a strong mother, Ada Elam, who early in life taught him the importance of doing for himself and controlling his own destiny. And whereas those early lessons served him well, and throughout his life, Brother Muhammad worked tirelessly to provide for his family, including his 9 children, often working 3 jobs at a time. And whereas, despite working hard to provide for his family, Brother Muhammad always had time to talk to anyone who needed guidance and to serve as a strong, positive male influence for neighborhood youth. And whereas one of Brother Muhammad's sons describes his father as a larger-than-life thinker and an authentic life coach, instructor, and teacher. And whereas, in the summer of 1988, Brother Muhammad determined he wanted to put an end to violence that was plaguing St. Louis city streets, and he co-founded the Tawheed Youth Group and started what is known as the Street Patrol in the Laclede Town Housing Projects with the mission to connect with street gangs and instill in young men pride in themselves and in their community. And whereas, as the executive director of the Tawheed Youth Group, and with the assistance of the members of the group, Brother Muhammad conducted crime prevention programs in some of the roughest neighborhoods in St. Louis City, thereby earning a great deal of respect from the youth. And whereas, Brother Muhammad was never afraid to speak truth to power and instilled the importance of doing so in his children, while also inspiring them to learn about their heritage and ancestors and to celebrate family traditions. And whereas Brother Muhammad also lived his life as a man of great faith, and whereas when a man has lived a long life so devoted to family, community, and faith, it is appropriate for the council and all St. Louis Countyans to take note. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the County Council of St. Louis County, Missouri as follows. Section 1, the County Council congratulates Brother Sultan El-Hajj Muhammad on the occasion of his 90th birthday on March 4, 2021, and wishes him many more happy and healthy years spent with his family and friends. Section 2, the administrative director shall send a certified copy of this resolution to Brother Muhammad as a permanent token of the council's esteem.
Thank you, Kevin, for reading.
You're welcome.
I just want to mention that I honor Brother Muhammad for all of his work for all of his work in the community. And I thought of his importance because now as we work on taking back our communities and making sure we have strong leadership in our communities, it doesn't mean you have to have a title to do so. You have to have passion and care for your community. That's all that's needed in order to make a change and a difference. So thank you, Brother Muhammad, and happy birthday.
And with that, Councilwoman Webb, I think you want to move for the adoption of the resolution?
Yes, ma'am. I move
Is there a
for the
second?
adoption of the resolution.
Is there a second?
Second, Harder.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Days.
Aye.
Councilmember Dunaway.
Aye.
Councilmember Fitch.
Aye.
Councilmember Webb.
Aye.
Councilmember Clancy.
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus.
Aye.
Councilmember Harder.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on resolution number 1, there are 7 ayes.
Motion carries. Resolution number 1 is adopted.
Resolution number 2 this evening, introduced by Councilmember Dunaway.
Kevin, if you'll please read the resolution.
Yes, ma'am. Resolution, whereas Dr. Kelly Taylor is a native of Arnold, Missouri, and earned her bachelor's degree from University of Missouri St. Louis and advanced degrees from Washington University and Maryville University, and whereas Dr. Taylor has taught in the Hazelwood School District since 2016, teaching honors biology, principles of biomedical science, and AP environmental science, which is a dual enrollment course through UMSL. And whereas Dr. Taylor Dr. Taylor also serves as a science instructor for the Bridge program, UMSL's flagship pre-collegiate program. And whereas the superintendent of the Hazelwood School District recently described Dr. Taylor as, quote, an outstanding educator and role model for both students and colleagues with a commitment to our district and students that is awe-inspiring, end quote. And whereas Dr. Taylor has been named the Hazelwood School District 2020 through 2021 Teacher of the Year and was honored during a virtual ceremony held on February 4, 2021. And whereas at the ceremony, Dr. Taylor shared, quote, I am truly humbled to receive this honor and thankful to be selected to represent the amazing educators in the Hazelwood School District. The passion, resilience, and perseverance of my students are what drives me to be a better educator and a better person, end quote. And whereas when an individual has so dedicated her life to enlightening and inspiring young minds that her peers see fit to honor her as one of their best, it is appropriate for the council and all St. Louis Countyans to pause and take note. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the County Council of St. Louis County, Missouri as follows. Section 1, the County Council congratulates Dr. Kelly Taylor on the occasion of being named Hazelwood School District Teacher of the Year for 2020 through 2021 and expresses its deepest gratitude for her commitment to her students and her profession. Section 2, the Administrative Director shall send a certified copy of this resolution to Dr. Taylor as a permanent token of the Council's esteem.
Thank you, Kevin. I move for the adoption of resolution number 2.
Is there a second?
Second, Harder.
Second, Clancy.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Days.
Aye.
Councilmember Dunaway.
Aye.
Councilmember Fitch.
Aye.
Councilmember Webb.
Aye.
Councilmember Clancy.
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus.
Aye.
Councilmember Harder.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on resolution number 2, there are 7 ayes.
Thank you. Motion carries. Resolution number 2 is adopted.
In our third resolution this evening, Madam Chair, introduced by Council Members Clancy, Days, and Dunaway.
Please read the resolution.
Resolution. Whereas it is critical to the health and safety of St. Louis County residents that mechanical contractors working on heating and cooling systems, boilers, water heaters, piping, gas systems, solar energy, plumbing, refrigeration, medical piping, fire suppression, and other mechanical systems be appropriately qualified and educated. And whereas in 2011, a Franklin County family, including 2 infants, perished of carbon monoxide poisoning after an unskilled mechanical contractor performed work on the family's furnace and failed to recognize a serious problem. And whereas St. Louis County requires licensing of anyone providing mechanical contractor services and has some of the region's highest standards for mechanical contractors, including a training progression of both journeyman licensing and apprenticeship, as well as continuing professional education to renew licensing. And whereas, without the training required by St. Louis County to obtain and maintain mechanical contractor licensing, the skill level of the region is jeopardized to the detriment of St. Louis County residents. And whereas St. Louis County's high standards eliminate unskilled workers and their heirs, thereby protecting the health and safety of all St. Louis County residents. And whereas HB 500 and SB 11, currently introduced in the Missouri State Legislature, introduce a less stringent licensure for mechanical contractors and prohibit St. Louis County from enforcing its own licensing requirements. And whereas HB 500 and SB 11 require only one individual within a company, regardless of that company's size, to be licensed by the state, meaning that unskilled and unqualified workers could provide mechanical contractor services so long as one individual within their company has obtained a state license, which license is less stringent than that currently in place in St. Louis County. And whereas lower standards for contractors will put the health and safety of St. Louis Countyans at risk and require additional inspector staff to enforce county code standards. And whereas it is incumbent upon the St. Louis County Council to take action to protect the health, welfare, and safety of residents, which would be impacted by the lessening of mechanical contractor standards. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the County Council of St. Louis County, Missouri as follows. Section 1, the St. Louis County Council calls upon the Missouri State Legislature to reject HB 500 and SB 11. Section 2, the Administrative Director shall prepare certified copies of this resolution to deliver to Senator Dave Schatz, the sponsor of SB 11, and State Representative Nick Schroer, the sponsor of HB 500.
I make a motion to, I'm sorry, I move for adoption of resolution number 3.
Is there a second?
Second, Tracus.
Discussion, Madam Chair.
Discussion, Councilman Fitch.
Thank you. My question for Councilwoman Clancy is I looked at both of these bills this morning, 11 and 500, and they're both still in committees. So what are we voting on? Because you know as well as I do, they can change drastically by the time we would either be opposed or against it. So tell me what we're voting on if we vote in favor of this resolution. Are we voting on today's form, yesterday's form? Because it's changing daily.
Well, we're voting on what, we don't have anything to vote on that's changed. So we're voting on as it stands today. And the premise, even though there might be some details changed, is that these bills, if passed, will weaken the county and other local jurisdictions to put in place the policies we need to make sure that the folks that are doing these highly technical contracting jobs have the skills that they need. So if you feel that that's important, you will support this resolution.
Well, like I said before, I'm not against the idea. What I'm against is voting for something I don't know what it's going to look like at the end. However, we're voting against it. So that's my only concern with it.
Any further discussion?
Madam Chair?
Councilman Harder.
Yes, I do have some concerns over this. I understand we do need safety precautions. We need training. The spirit of this bill is good across the state to be able to employ people across county lines. But this bill, the way it's written today, has some issues with it. and I'm willing to support this, but I also want to let people know that this is a changing environment and the bill is changing daily, and this could be a totally different bill by the time it leaves the Senate. So as today, if you want to vote today, I will vote against it.
To clarify, Councilman Fitch, if I may too, the bill is on the Senate calendar. It could get called up for a vote anytime.
But amendments can still be added.
Councilman Tracus.
Thank you. This resolution, like most resolutions, is intended to send a message, a clear and distinct message that anything that compromises the quality of construction and work, and then thereby compromises the safety of people, is unacceptable in St. Louis County. That's why this resolution is important. That's why I'm going to support it. Thank you. Regardless of what the final iteration looks like, the simple fact of the matter is these two bills seek to circumvent a system that is operating to keep people safe. So that's why I'm supporting this resolution. Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Councilwoman Webb.
Yes, ma'am. First, I think Councilman Tracus said it best. It's to prevent the services that we serve to the community as they will serve, as to be professional and of high quality. And we want to make sure that we stand on the right side of this to make sure that we know we have standards in St. Louis County throughout the Missouri area to support this, the labor, and making sure that they are qualified and trained properly. I would voice my support for this resolution as well and would like to be added as a co-sponsor of the resolution.
Thank you, Councilwoman Webb.
Thank you, Councilwoman Clancy. Would you have anything else to say?
I have no further comments other than to thank you, Chairwoman Days and Councilwoman Webb and Councilwoman Dunaway for your co-sponsorship.
Councilman Harder.
Yes, I misquoted. A misstatement. I will support this bill. Thank you.
Thank you. And having served in the legislature, I am fully aware of how these one iteration of a bill can simply change from house to house. And I am looking at the possibility of just sending a message, if you will, on that. However, if this bill changes substantially, we can all withdraw that kind of support. But I think that initially, I know how these things work. I was there and I understand that. And so with that, we will call the roll.
Yes, ma'am. Councilmember Days.
Aye.
Councilmember Dunaway.
Aye.
Councilmember Fitch.
I appreciated the chair's comments, and she convinced me to vote aye.
Councilmember Webb.
Aye.
Councilmember Clancy.
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus.
Aye.
Councilmember Harder.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on resolution number 3, there are 7 ayes.
Motion carries. Resolution number 3 is adopted. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I was going to just say moving to unfinished business.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Yes. Item number 1.
Please hold on the order of business, and that will be the order.
Item number 2.
Please hold on the order of business, and that will be the order as well.
Madam Chair,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Madam Chair, we have no new business this evening.
Any other business to come before the council at this time? Any other comments? I want to make a statement here. These last 2 months or so have been very upsetting, bewildering, and costly. But I want to thank all of you who have supported this process of making sure that I am the chair, the calls, the texts, email. It's been phenomenal, and I do appreciate that. I've talked to several former members of this council, and at no time can they ever think of that other council members sued other council members for whatever reason. But it happened. And now we must close the book on these past events and move on to do the work that the people have sent us here to do. In light of that, I am offering an olive branch to my colleagues and the administration to come together to improve the lives of the residents of St. Louis County. I look forward to working with all of you. Motion to adjourn.
Madam Chair.
Councilwoman Clancy.
Yes, I appreciate the words that you just shared. As you may or may not know, I did give you a call this morning and left you a message, but I will reiterate tonight what I was going to share with you and what I have shared in the public today. I'm glad to have the clarification from the court and glad to hear that other members of the council, particularly yourself, Madam Chair, agree that it's time to move on. And that's what I intend to do. I intend to respect the ruling from the judge. That is what I have always said I will do. And I consider this matter settled. I look forward to working with you, Chairwoman Days, and the rest of the council to continue to put forward and implement policy that will be such that we make St. Louis County a better place for us all, and we can put these distractions behind us. So I'm glad to hear that you feel the same, and onward we go.
Any further comments?
Madam Chair.
Thank you. Councilwoman Webb.
Yes, ma'am. I just want to make an announcement. I want to remind all the community in North County that we will be having a town hall meeting on this Thursday, March 4th at 6 p.m. concerning Jamestown Mall. We'll have our guests that will be leading the discussion from the St. Louis Port Authority to address all questions and concerns, and then also to hear their feedback. So I'm excited to start this ongoing communication in our community, and I look forward to having this conversation. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Councilwoman Webb, thank you very much. Is that a Zoom call? And where do we get the link?
Yes, ma'am. So it is a Zoom call. You can go to Councilwoman Shalonda Webb on Facebook, or you can visit the website shalondawebb.com, www.shalondawebb.com, or email me at info@shalondawebb.com. So
thank you. We have been waiting for quite some time to see something happen with Jamestown Mall, so I appreciate that. Any further business to come before the body at this time?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Fitch.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed, no. Have a good evening and stay safe.